let me tell you, ultra progressive women, something that y'all need to hear, something that I've been witnessing. Haven't really said much about it because personally, I don't care what people's sexual orientation is. It has no effect on me. However, once you start getting into raising a traditional family, that's when I start to begin to have issues. No, as a heteronormative cisgendered man, I would not want to be in a neighborhood full of homosexuals. If I was the only traditional heteronormative cisgendered patriarchal man on the block, I wouldn't want to be in a neighborhood full of gays. You know, if I was raised in a family, I wouldn't want to be in a neighborhood full of broken and single mothered homes. I wouldn't want to be in that neighborhood. You know, people want to talk about how, you know, families come in all, you know, shapes and sizes and orientations and everything. If I have a choice, I'm not raising my children around that. Okay? Now, I might have a child who ends up being gay or comes out gay. And that's just something I had to deal with. Personally, I believe that, you know, people who are gay are born gay. That's what I believe. Do I believe that people can be influenced to be gay, like if they're sexually assaulted and that sort of stuff? Yes, I do. But generally speaking, you know, even as a child growing up, you know, we knew who the funny boy was. You know what I mean? We knew who that was. So that started very early on, you know, way before puberty. And I wouldn't sit there and say all of those people were, you know, or all of those boys especially were sexually assaulted. I wouldn't say that. But here's the thing. So I know a woman who lives with a gay man. She wants to be married. And, you know, I'm just sitting there, you know, I observed, and I'm just like, you know, you need to get rid of your gay friends. Plain and simple. You need to move out of living with this gay dude, because the gay dude is her roomie. I'm like, first off, that off top just don't look right. Oh, you live with a dude. Okay, so if you're trying to get married, the optics on that, you know, saying that he's gay may be a relief to some men, but generally speaking, guys are still going to be funny about that. The other thing, it's like, if you have a gay friend, you know what I mean, but you still keep your, I don't want to say keep your distance, but you still, you know, like, it's like, in other words, it's like you have the same attitude I have, right? You know, gay dude, they're gay, people are gay, they should have the right to be gay and do whatever gay shit they want to do, but, you know, I don't need that, you know, all up in my life, like it's a value system that I value, or it's a orientation that I value. That's a better way of saying it, because I don't value it like that, and I don't put it on par with what the fuck I am, right? Which is heteronormative cisgendered, especially not when we're talking about families. So, and this isn't the only woman that I know that has this sort of affiliation with her gay friend. You know what I mean? But you get into women who have gay friends, plural. Okay? And from what I've seen, those women start experimenting, especially if they have gay female friends. They start experimenting with the state, especially if they have a stud friend. Okay? And that's not conducive to giving off this idea, you know, that you're wifey material. It's not conducive to that. So, you know, it's like, I'm trying to find parking, so my mind is split right now. But I'm just saying, I noticed that you have people, really, you're going to be on this side? Get the fuck around, get out of my way. Okay, so, you know, I just noticed that in the one woman in particular that I know well, and then the other woman that I don't know so well, you know, it's like, okay, you want to settle down, you want to be married, but you're demonstrating all of the flags that say, I'm not a traditionally oriented woman. You know, it's like, it goes back to like what Michelle Obama did with Barack Obama, or not even with Barack Obama, but when she was up there bigging up Zaya and talking about, live your truth and everything. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to be the poster child woman of this boy transitioning and all that when you come from a, heteronormative, cisgendered, supposedly patriarchal household? You know what I'm saying? Like you don't need to advocate for it. You don't need to be the poster child for it. You don't need to do any of that. And I feel like there's a lot of women, they get this shit twisted. And then when they get labeled by men as non-wifey material, then there's a problem. The problem presents itself. I'm like, of course he's going to label you a non-wifey material, because now it looks like you're advocating for all this stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with a heteronormative cisgendered nuclear family. That has nothing to do with that. And there are aspects of, homosexuality that are seen as, rebellious, and then shit spills into other areas, and then there's areas of gray and overlap, and then, somehow, being homosexual is spills into, we must smash the freaking capitalism, and we must smash, patriarchy, and we must smash, just smash everything. So it's like, that shit is literally like on the cusp of just being rebellious, which I don't even know why gays allowed that to happen. You know what I mean? Like I get the fact that, yeah, by definition, people look at them like they're bucking society, but they should be like, hey, we're gay, that's what we do. But then you draw the line in the sand, like these are the rights that we want, this is what we want, this is how we want to be recognized, whatever, and then draw the line in the sand. But then it turns into and this is why whenever you see the right making fun of the left, what do? They make everybody gay, or they make everybody a pansy, or a sissy, or a wussy, or anti-Second Amendment, or just this little snowflake and everything else. Those are, basically homosexual pejoratives that are being thrown at the left. Because somehow the gay shit and the progressive agenda have now they're in bed with each other. You see, and that's how it's going to be interpreted. It's not just like gayness doesn't exist in a silo anymore. Like now it's like, oh, it's gay, and and this is the problem that even the black community had, where you had all this, gay is the new black. It's like, the fuck? You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I'm a black man. I can't stand the system of white supremacy and the racism and the legacy of racism and all that other shit, right? So that puts me in the progressive bin, right? But that doesn't mean that I co-sign, all this, homosexuality and, men somehow birthing children like Lil Nas X, with the whatever photo he had where he was pregnant, and that's goofy shit to me. You know what I mean? Leave the gay people alone. People are gay. There's conservative people who have gay people in their family, as though being gay has some sort of liberal gene, and if you're a conservative and you have a conservative bloodline, you don't have any gays in your family. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You got all type of freaking middle America, rural white people that go through all type of torment because they grew up in this overly Christian white Jesus praising church, and they're not accepted, and people look at them like, oh, they're the work of the devil and all this. I don't get into all that shit. I'm not religious. Again, that's something else that puts me in the category of progressive. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I draw lines in the sand. I'm like, I don't co-sign it like that. I don't put it on par with the type of family structure that I one day hope to have in the neighborhood that I want to live in. If there's a gay dude on the block, or gay women on the block, or whatever, a gay couple here or there, hey, I don't mind, whatever. But when you start talking about the whole demographics shift to where now I'm the only straight couple on the block, me and my wife, that's going to be a problem for me. I'm going to pick my shit up and I'm going to move. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, you get women, they get into the, somehow you have this forming of Voltron between anti-capitalism, Black Lives Matter, feminism, everybody should be gay, and you get this clusterfuck of causes. And so now it looks like a woman in 2021 that has, a gay friend. Now it's like, okay, but how progressive are you? How far do you take it? You see? And the thing is like any guy, look, I'm not religious. I don't rock with white Jesus and Christianity and everything. My shit is real simple. Treat people the way you want to be treated. The end. It's real simple. Okay? But to somebody who, let's say they are more religious than me, let's say they do come from a family that goes to church every Sunday or some shit like that, you and your gay friends and all that shit might be a problem for them. And what's so crazy, it's like, okay, well, what do you value more? Your gay friends and your gay situation with your gay friends, or you wanting to be a married woman in a traditional marriage? You know what I'm saying? Because this woman's like, her whole background is nothing but traditional. So I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And now I'm like, okay, and now you're creeping up into your 30s and you're not married and you have no prospects of marriage and you could have been married, but again, fucking with the gay shit. You know what I mean? And not only that, not only is she fucking with the gay shit, she's fucking with the feminist shit too. So it's like, again, she's wearing like all of the damn medals of what it is to be a progressive. I'm like, oh my God, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, pick one cause and stick to it if that's your thing, and just understand the consequences of how that would be perceived by some people. You know what I mean? But it's like, you want to be married in a traditional marriage, but yet you're doing all this other stuff. You're advocating for all these other people. And other people who, in the arguments that I have had, there's only been maybe like one or two gay people that have actually been like, no, the gay community is doing way too much. The transgender shit is doing too much. You know what I mean? Like we just don't want to be fucked with. We want to be, marginally, not marginally recognized, but recognized more than they are. Like, hey, we exist, all this hiding shit and coming out the closet. It shouldn't even be coming out the closet. People should just accept the fact that people are gay. Hey, fine, boom, I'm with you. Okay? But the thing is that, what was I gonna say? It's about this woman and like, where she wants to be, wanting to be married and everything. It just appears, that's not really that's not what she values, and that's not what is a priority to her. Because from what I've seen, I remember what I was gonna say. Because from what I've seen, a lot of the LGBT community and whatnot, they want to tear down patriarchy. They want to tear down traditional marriage. Right? Because they already know that most heteronormative cisgender people in traditional marriage, they don't want their kids to be gay. They want their kids to be straight because they're straight. Makes sense. Right? And they don't want their kids, and they believe that, that a child can be influenced to be gay. So they don't want their kids around that stuff. Okay? And then you have the LGBT that wants to smash patriarchy, because most men that are in a heteronormative cisgendered marriage are not going to value homosexual lifestyles or any other orientation. They're not. And then you get into the arguments of like, what if a white Christian conservative has the same problem with a gay marriage that they have with interracial marriage? Is that not the same thing? See, we should be progressive together. Not that I'm out here advocating for interracial marriage, but I'm sorry, I still don't see two men with each other or two women with each other the same as a black woman with a white man, or a black man with an Asian woman, or whatever, that can actually produce life. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, those two things aren't in the same category. I can understand why a race preserver is worried about interracial relationships, but to me, it still doesn't belong in the same space as a gay relationship. And see, this is where like the gay conversation tries to drag other people onto their side, you know what I mean, into progressive. Oh, see those white people that hate interracial relations, they're all racist, and you interracial coupled people, you need to be with us gays, and so you get this clusterfuck. You get people being dragged into categories they don't really belong in. It's like, okay, so what happens if the interracial couple that's a black man and an Asian woman are just as Christian as the white conservatives that don't like interracial relationships. You see what I'm saying? Like, you get like everybody, like this whole idea that everybody is in, like everybody fits this narrow category, of expectations, that's not really what it is. It's like being a liberal who actually supports the Second Amendment. You know what I'm saying? So, it's like not everybody is this cookie cutter, a bundle of what is expected. That's not always the case. But I'm just saying, like, it's like I don't understand, because every time I get into these LGBT conversations, it's always smash the patriarchy. We must eliminate hetero-normative cisgender, all this crap. You need women. You need to talk to transgender. You're straight men into being interested into transgender women because they're women too. All this goofy shit. And I'm like, and you support all that, or you're, in bed with all of that, but you want to be married. You want a man to literally look at you and say to himself, she's wifey material. She's going to get with this heteronormative, cisgendered patriarchy thing that I believe in, that I fundamentally believe in at my core. She's going to play her role. I'm going to play my role. No, but when you got a whole bunch of gay friends and you're this, this young woman, who's getting up there in age, and you want to settle down, like people they're not going to look at you like that. It's the same as when you see women with a whole bunch of tattoos and stuff like that. It's like, oh shit, she's rebellious. That speaks to the rebellious nature that's already in the woman. Like, let me get the fuck on, because if she's bucking society, if she's bucking the system, chances are she's going to buck me. And then they say in their minds, not wifey material. So while she's out there LGBT this, LGBT that, having a good old time with her gay friends and whatever, you know what I mean? She's getting put in a box. You know what I mean? Like, again, like, men cannot ungay. Okay, we can't be, okay, I'm hanging, I like this girl, blah, 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 blah. You go out to the club one time, she got her gay friend with her. First off, gay friend usually gonna be cock blocking and everything else. You trying to slide, he's being a man cock blocker. You know how that shit goes. Okay, and especially if you have a strong masculine presence and he's gay, and there's always like this friction, this weird ass friction and whatnot. He's thinking you got a problem with him. Like, not motherfucker, not really. I don't really have a problem with you. I'm not homophobic. I'm secure in my own masculinity. Like, get the fuck on. Like, don't be bringing your issues with other straight men onto me. Like, fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? So they do that bullshit. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, a lot of guys, they don't want to be around that because you can't ungay. You start hanging around, next thing you know, your boy's talking about, yeah, he's always hanging around with so-and-so and that gay motherfucker she hangs. That's how dudes talk. Yeah, she's always hanging around with that gay ass dude, that sweet ass nigga. You know what I mean? The next thing you know, it's like, now you become friends with her friend. Now, now it's like, okay, now let's just say y'all have an amicable understanding. Y'all cool. He respects the fact that you're in a relationship with his friend. You respect the fact that, her friend is a gay man or whatever, or even a gay woman, whatever it may be. But usually it's the gay man where this friction is at. But I'm saying now other people are like, yeah, he rolling with that gay dude. You know what I mean? Like then it's just like, maybe, I don't know, she left her purse at the dude's spot, or well, if they live together, like in this case. I'm just saying, whatever it may be, you go over there, to go pick something up. Motherfuckers like, man, I seen that nigga roll up, and he went to the spot, and chick wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he on some funny shit too. Like, again, you can't ungay. Rumors, all that shit. Men just try to avoid that. I'm not saying that it's right. I'm saying that's the way that it is because you can't ungay. If a woman decides I'm having a threesome and all these homosexual escapades, and then she decides I'm no longer gay and then wants to get married, all she got to do is move, relocate, go somewhere else, tell everybody she's straight. Nobody gonna know. Bam, now she's straight again. You see what I'm saying? I guess a guy could do the same thing, but again, which one of you women are getting ready to date a man that is even accused of being bisexual or gay? None of you. A man, on the other hand, if a woman's like, hey, I used to mess with women, if a guy's still into her or whatever, maybe he's thinking some kinky shit. Hey, maybe we could have a threesome and I could bang two chicks at the same time. You know what I mean? But even when it comes to that, yes, a sexual fantasy, yes, most men have that sexual fantasy. But when it comes to wifey material, they compartmentalize and say, hey, maybe, getting with a woman that's into other women is not the sharpest thing to do, right? Especially when y'all saw freaking Nip Tuck, right? What happens when you marry to a woman and then she leaves you for another woman and now you have a child together and your child's got to be like, I'm going over my two mommies' house. That's not what you intended. A divorce is bad enough, but you didn't intend for there to be this other dynamic. You know what I mean? It's bad enough if she left you for another man and went and you got a stepdaddy, but now you got to deal with, the homosexuality, around your children and, you got to explain shit. Well, mommy's with a woman. Yeah, mommy's with a woman, but that's not how it's supposed to be. Boys are supposed to be with girls. Girls are supposed to be with boys. That's how it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? You don't want that entering your child's head. For straight people. And I know that this is, gay people, they're so offended at what I'm saying. Fuck you. This is what it is. This straight people value straightness. You know what I'm saying? Just like you value homosexuality. Whatever you want to do, y'all can do. You know what I mean? If y'all could go off and y'all could somehow reproduce on some gay shit, then, I'm not going to say however you want to orient, even though I know that's not the way that it actually works. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Like there's no situation like that. You see? It's natural for people, to be, a hetero-normative cisgender. If everybody was gay, that would be the end of the human species. But it's like you got to run around and you got to tiptoe around, the gay conversation and the homosexuality. You got to tiptoe around it because, now it's like the whole of Western society wants everybody to be gay, and now gay people are being treated like Jewish people or something. Like, you can't criticize them, you can't say anything about them, you say anything and then everybody gets triggered, or some stupid shit, or now you're homophobic and everything else like that. Like damn, what's wrong with me being a straight man and wanting to have a straight family with some straight kids that are going to go off and again engage and participate in patriarchy? I marry off my daughter, my son, I raise my son. Hopefully, he could take over, if I built something, you know what I mean? Or if I only have a daughter, maybe she could take over some shit. But I'm just saying, you're trying to gear your children towards men being the builders and the maintainers and the defenders of the community, and you're raising your daughters to support another man's son that's doing the same thing, and then giving you healthy children. Yeah, patriarchy is through the male heirs. Let's not tiptoe around that. Women play their role. They're very much needed. They're protected and provided for. That's what you want as a father. You know what I mean? And then your sons, you're raising them to be brave and courageous and defend and protect and provide and all that stuff. And it works out. Everybody gets the benefit of that, of people playing their roles. Where homosexuality comes into that space, I don't know. Where does it come into that space? I don't know. It doesn't. And especially when you're talking about a black community that is already broken, already fucked up. You know what I mean? I'm like, we don't need more confusion. I mean, can we at least get, intact heteronormative cisgender homes to a critical mass and then entertain all this alternative lifestyle stuff? We sitting at, 86% of black children being born in the split households and shit like that. Which makes it even, just the ripest environment in the world for, especially gay black people to come in and act like, well, see, it doesn't matter. The black community is already, fucked up and screwed up. Just completely ignoring what white supremacy did to the black community. Oh, it's already messed up. So we can come in with our alternative lifestyles because, it's already broken. Fuck you again. But anyway, I need to say this because it's been on my mind, and I was reluctant to say it because you know how people get triggered and shit like that, but it needs to be said. I'm like, chick, you want to get married, but you surrounded by a bunch of gay people. You know what I mean? Most well-to-do, because she wants to, you know, obviously marry up, hypergamy, right? Most well-to-do men don't want that in their marriage. They don't want to see anything like that. They want to know that you are a woman that's going to play your role. You're not a feminist. You're not a diva. You're not a queen. You're not Rainbow Coalition LGBT. You're not Smash the Patriarchy. You're none of that shit. You're playing your role. And if you have a daughter together, you're also going to encourage her to play her role as well. While the man is over there telling his son the things about manhood that he needs to know from the perspective of a man. So anyway, that's all I got to say about this. That's my video. SWP out.